everyone, welcome to your day 5 warm-up. We're starting out problem number 1, which is from that transformation unit. Let's identify this first. As you read through the problem, hopefully you saw that it's telling you the figure was translated. That means it's a slide. That also means, I don't know if you remember back or if you looked in your notes, translations, the rules are using addition and subtraction. And we're just going to basically look at the movement to get from the old location to the new location. So I'm going to start at the old location, and from the looks of it, I'm just going to go from M to point E, because both of those are in the same position. It's counting by ones if you count the in-between markings. So I'm going over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And since I'm moving left, that's going to be a negative movement. So I'm going to write down -6 for my X. So my X, I'm going back 6. And now let's look at our Y value. I'm going up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So my Y value is Y, and I'm going up 10, so that's a positive 10. And basically that right there tells me what my rule is. Remember, all of our rules start out with XY and an arrow. And my X value is going back 6, and my Y value is going up 10. And that would be the rule that I would use for this translation. Again, translation is a slide. That SL is telling us that this is a slide. And the rule will always use addition and subtraction. Okay, brings us to number 2, another problem in our transformations unit. In problem number 2, it's telling us that we're doing a 90-degree counterclockwise rotation. So that means 90 degrees back. Now think about it. Here's my axis. Remember, here are my positive Y's. Here are my negative Y's. Here are my negative X's. And here are my positive X's. Positive X's. If I move all of the letters one space backwards, so think about rotating this one time to the left, then negative Y, let's just kind of show the rotation. So I'm turning it one time to the left, so all the letters. So my positive Y is now here, and my negative X moves here, and my negative Y moves here. Again, we're rotating everything one time to the left, and my positive X moves there. So when I rotate all of those letters, instead of positive X, now I have a negative Y, and which is right there, negative Y. And instead of a positive Y, now I have a positive X. So here's my rule. When everything gets rotated one time, this is what lands on the positive X, and this is what lands on, right here, this is what lands on positive X, and this is what lands on positive Y, and that helps me come up with the rule. Okay, and finally, we are going to be doing change my color up, the volume of a sphere. And if you remember, if you can look it up online too, my formula is 4/3 pi r cubed. And that line is going all the way across, so that's definitely my diameter. Now, if I'm given a diameter, I need to work backwards to find my radius. So I'm going to do 4/3 pi, and then when I cut this in half, it's going to give me 3.4 for my radius. And I'm going to cube that. And then after that, I'm going to use my calculator, and I'm going to type everything in. It's actually what I'm doing right now. and 3.4 cubed, and it gives me a final answer of 164.6. Okay, so that's the volume of one of these spheres. It actually wants to know, well, if that's one, how many would it take to do 4.5 of these? So I'm going to multiply my answer by 4.5, and it actually asks me to round to the nearest whole number. So when I take this and I multiply by the 4.5, because it's asking me for 4.5 different spheres, it's going to give me a final answer of 741. It's actually 740.86, so I'm going to round that up to 741. So make sure that when you go into Canvas and you're completing this on the quiz assignment that you enter that as your final answer. Okay, so that concludes day number 5, and tune in tomorrow for day number 6, for the warm-up on day 6.